Good afternoon, everyone, and hello. This is Zoltan again and Sharia. We are back today with today's video, and today we aim to talk about project management in general, particularly within the development sector, what that means, what are the specifications, and why it's important. In general.
I think we talked a bit about why it's important in the last video. Just to recap that in the development sector, most of the work gets delivered through projects and programs. So if you have great project management skills, you are likely to do your job better, you are likely to get or attract funding organizations to fund you, and you are going to create better impact for your beneficiaries. So these are the key benefits really of having good project management skills, and do more. So today I think, as you said, we want to talk about project management general. What is project management, kind of talk about a bit about certifications, like how this can help.
I think that will be very useful.
Okay. So I think just take a simple definition of project management. There are different definitions. So a project is considered like a temporary endeavor to deliver a unique product, service, or result, and it has so temporary. So it is not like going on forever. There is limited given resources, so budget, and obviously there is unique product, service that you are trying to deliver. So example could be, well, let's say you are building your house. That's a project. You're building a school, building a hospital, launching a new product. So these could be projects, and there could be lots of number of sector work in a project-based scenario. For example, like the construction, for example, even private sector, there would be all of that is projects. I mean, contractors, and in the roads or constructions, mega projects, or even small projects in community to make sure the marginal communities have educations. These are all examples of projects. So that's generally all the sectors. Now in terms of the development projects, we'll come to that later, but I think so that's project. And what happened is basically you want to manage those projects better, and there has been historically a discipline where there has been certification on project management to systemize this knowledge, and organizations like Project Management Institute, which is probably the most widely known organization in project management education. There are APM in the UK, like Association for Project Management. There is Excelos, which looks after like Prince 2, that's the certification. PMI is PMP, APM has their certification, and PMD Pro, which is Project Management for Development Professionals. This is relatively new, but it's really, really relevant for the project professionals or development professionals in general working in the international development sector. I think, do you think we should kind of mention the benefit of certifications?
Absolutely,
Okay. So I think let's take an analogy. Like, let's say if you know a lot about engineering, for example, you read books, you watched videos and everything, but you don't have any certification as a certified engineer. Do you think people would come to you for a consultation or pay you for that? They may, but it's very unlikely, and that's the question of credibility and things. Or take doctors, for example. You don't go to someone who knows a lot medically but actually is not a qualified doctor, right? So I think that's sort of like an extreme, but reality is you could be a great project manager without certification, but the certification adds to your credibility. So it's that simple. You may have 5 certification in project management but still be a poor project manager, not very good. So let's make that clear. But obviously, in terms of paper, in terms of presentability, credibility, it's just going to add to your skills and give you the confidence. And we know stories of people who, after the certification, felt more confident that they know the foundation knowledge and everything. So that's why certification is important.
Plus, again, it really matters how you show up in front of your stakeholders, your donor organization, whatever, The certification is kind of a proof that your skills meet global standards.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
And you know the specific terms and vocabularies in project management. So for example, if I say WBS and someone gets lost, you know that he or she doesn't know the specific standard terminology, common terms used in project management. So it's about creating the same common vocabularies as well and things. But be clear that the skill is like your application of the knowledge. Certification is a way to show, or a seal of quality, or a proof that yes, you have a certain level of knowledge and understanding. And many project management certifications actually have foundation and then practitioner, basically to show that if you are practicing. Same with PMD Pro, Project Management for Development Professionals. It has level 1.
Let's just nail that down. So PMD Pro is Project Management for Development Professionals, which is the current global standard. A collection of standards for development project management. So it's a universal standard that can pretty much be used all across the development sector.
Definitely, I think
regardless of what sort of development project you're working on.
Yeah, I think look, the concepts, as I said, it's about the skills, it's about speaking the common language. So what happened is, you may see in my profile there are videos I've been speaking to a very senior colleague, John Cropper from he's one of the key figure in writing the guide and thing, and we work with Edson as well in PM for NGOs, and the way it started
PM
is they
for
had
NGOs, by the way, is the organization that oversees the certification
globally. Yeah, so
it's
the reason
project management for NGOs, as in non-governmental
PM for NGOs. Yeah, so I think the history would make it a bit clear, as in like it was started by people working in big international NGOs who had massive experience of working in projects, and back then they only had Prince 2, PMP and things, so they had those certification, and what they felt is that development projects has some unique characteristics that are not covered, or unique aspects that are not covered by those standard methodologies. I mean, having said that, those methodologies would do recommend that you customize to according to your need. However, there are particular tools, approaches used in development sector that are not seen or heard by those private sector focused project management certifications, to be honest. And for that reason, they decided to kind of take the best things from different methodologies and create something that is more suitable for development projects and development professionals in general. So things like log frame, I mean a technical thing which is, many donor organization uses, or results framework. These type of tools are used in development sector mainly. I mean, and they sort of had these tools, and also what works well in other methodologies, in other project management methodologies. So that's why it's really RACI metrics, those taken all across. So this is why this is really great, and I my last 5-6 years I've been training on this certification, and the delegates, participants I get are really public sector officials. So like even this week we have very senior officials who work on $100 million project with World Bank and other organizations, and they agree that this is very relevant, this is very kind of makes sense for the sector. So to sum it up, I mean, I think if you work in NGO projects, development projects with public sector, or with international organizations, this is a fantastic methodology and start for you. And also, if you are considering project management, this is a great start. I mean, you can do other certification later, but this is, to start with, this is fantastic. This is great, I would say. I mean, people ask me,
especially if you are a development professional, that's pretty
or
much
interested to go into development sector as well. For example, many people work in private sector, and they actually, I mean, I have people asking me, is like, what can I do? And I advise this. Is like, first.
I'm the perfect example, aren't I? That's what happened to me. So I used to work in the private sector. I always used to be in the training industry, but I worked with the private sector, and that's how I initially moved closer to the development sector. I did the PMD Pro certification.
So what happened? You are interested in the international development sector, and then, in fact, I think we talked, and then you are interested.
And then I started researching, and then eventually I ended up doing the PMD Pro certification, and it was just incredibly useful for my career following from that point.
Yeah, so that can be really, I mean, useful. And one thing I would like to add is, this is, although we say development projects, but this is fantastic. I mean, these are key concepts and languages in project management anyway. So from that angle, I actually have a client who is a software firm, and they're a private sector company, produces software, and I use some of the tools from these with that client, and they were amazed. I mean, you know, they found it really valuable. So this can be useful for other people as well, obviously. I mean, so because it covers the core of project management.
Yeah.
So this would be a great start if you want to start out as a project manager or strengthen your career as a project manager, definitely.
Okay. Great,
Yeah?
great. Thank you very
I think
much,
that's,
Sharia.
yeah. So thank you very much.
That perfectly sums up the importance of PMD Pro.
And
I hope
project
that was
management, yeah.
understandable. If you have any questions or comments,
Yes, please, yeah.
feel free to drop them below as usual, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
That's it for today. Thanks very much.
Thank
Have
you.
a lovely evening.
Yeah, thank you. And stay tuned for the next one coming. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very soon. Bye bye.